Welcome back, brothers and sisters. Tim, Braden, Second Legacy, you are amazing, and thank you for showing up. Today, guys, we have got to take our newfound glory, majesty, our super majorities, everything that you can muster with our newfound power, and defeat the evil rhinos that lurk within our midst. Of course, we're talking about the Senate putting forward a super secret ballot vote to turn the new GOP majority leader, Mitch McConnell, wants to establish his establishment even further in this amazing revolution that we are at the beginning of, but we can't let him have it. And how do we start? Simple. We throw John Cornyn directly to the curb, which is exactly where he belongs, and we're going to go into a lot of it right now. So if you're down and you want to help us spread this freedom and prevent the tyranny from the rhinos, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on, and with that, Tim, golly, that intro. I felt my feels right there.
Yeah, no, that was good. Man. And how do we get here? I mean,
this is totally a remnant. This is totally a remnant of the 80s, 90s, early 2000 rhino class. It's exactly what we're dealing with.
Yeah. I mean, you got Cornyn and Scott, red flag Scott and, Safer Communities Act Cornyn. It's like,
yes,
really? This is where we are. We're going to swap the cocaine turtle for 2 other rhinos, potentially. And there's a third one in there.
You just combined 2 different nicknames, and it was glorious. It's Cocaine Mitch and Mitch the Turtle, and you came out with Cocaine Turtle?
Yeah.
Okay, I love it. We're rolling with it because why? We've got to stop John Cornyn. Oh, okay. So on this one, guys, the people are speaking. Elon Musk is out there putting up polls. Apparently, everyone in the population of Twitter wants Rick Scott because they don't want John Thune and they don't want John Cornyn. And there's 3 guys, just so you know. Dr. Slides is throwing through this right now, but we got 3 guys. We got 3 images, and it's John Cornyn on the left, John Thune in the middle, and Rick Scott on the right. Okay, we're going to walk through this for a second. Yeah, that one. This is not great options starting out. We're kind of like left with the leftovers of the establishment class in the Senate because that doesn't turn over as quickly like the House does. But Tim, let's just go through this for a second. John Cornyn, we know all about this guy. The Senate Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, the thing that gave carte blanche to the ATF to interpret new rules however they saw fit.
Come on. They had safety measures in place to protect.
Yeah, I got your safety measures right here. No, bump that noise. Let's just go over it. They made 18, 19, and 20-year-olds in the United States completely under the dictates and mandates of the ATF, and they have a mandatory 10-day waiting period because of this guy. You have red flag law bribery that occurred in that bill. I mean, that's just on the top surface.
But it saved so many lives. We don't know who they are, but we know it saved a life or something. Somebody's life was saved by this. Most comprehensive gun control in 30 years, Braden.
You mean the most comprehensive gun control in 30 years, but then when it passed, it also wasn't?
Yeah. It's like,
you mean that one?
Yeah. All it accomplished was harassing gun owners. Imagine that.
So weird.
Yeah. But, they claimed it brought crime down, like Biden brought the crime down. We were saying, no, the FBI numbers are wildly skewed. About 40% of the districts aren't reporting. And no, the crime's down. And then right before the election, I swear, the FBI.
They did.
They do this. It's just like Comey torpedoed Hillary right before the election. The FBI took that talking point away. Right after Trump said in the debate that it was wrong. The data was wrong. And everybody's like, oh my God, Trump's making stuff up again. FBI comes out and updates those numbers. And guess what, folks? Violent crime has actually gone up, like we said.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so weird. It's so weird.
But hey, Cornyn and all of his goon squad, the most comprehensive gun control that saved lives.
Amazing.
Amazing.
And also, and you know what? I just remembered some more. Something else amazing that happened from the Senate Bipartisan Safe Communities Act from John Cornyn and Tom Tillis, both Republican rhinos in the Senate. You remember when they stopped doing archery clubs in the schools? And everyone, even the rural Democrats, were like, oh my God, what are you doing? Oh my God, what are you doing? And John Cornyn comes out and goes, well, they're manipulating the text of the law that we passed. You shouldn't have passed it, you...
Yeah,
I don't like him. I don't like him at all, Tim.
We warned you. You don't. You do not let the government get a foot in the door because these laws will continue to expand. They always do.
Yep. And then he tried to get all this damage control going, where he was going to do congressional review acts. And we're going to teach the Biden administration to rescind this. Really? Are you? Let's walk through how a CRA works. Okay, Congressional Review Act. You have to pass something in the Senate, then it's got to pass the House, which is Democrat controlled, and then the president has to actually sign it to rescind his own rule that he signed. Yeah. You know what, John? No Senate majority leader for you.
Yeah. If they pick him,
Jackwagon.
The three choices of the three hats that have been thrown into the ring, none of them are good.
No, I described it on my video last night as like three different turd sandwiches. Just depends on which one has more peanuts in it.
Are you a peanut guy? Is that what you're saying?
Not in my turds.
No,
not in my turds. No.
How about peanut butter? No,
not that either. No, that's kind of weird. There's a texture problem.
You like the whipped creamy version, huh?
You got it. Well, that's a little too fluffy. You got to do smooth. You can't do this nutty, crunchy stuff. But that's for another time. It's only whatever. So. Yeah, talked about the three turd sandwiches with the buddy or the nutty, the buddy.
The buddy nutty buddy.
You threw me off with. I was really holding on until I had to say nutty buddy, whatever. Yeah, John Cornyn, John Thune, and Rick Scott. So that's John Cornyn. John Thune is the ultimate establishment from South Dakota. That's just well known. He's not amazing on 2A. He's not absolutely Rick Scott or John Cornyn on the 2A. And then Rick Scott. Here's the thing that a lot of people, I don't think, fully understand what's going on with Rick Scott. He's from Florida. Well, during the we had a tragedy in Florida at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. Red flag laws became a thing under him.
Yep.
And then he also raised the buying age of firearms to citizens from 18 to 21. That's two things that I really don't like. Yep. I don't like it, Tim.
And, this whole thing of raising the legal age by a firearm. Folks, keep in mind that at 18, you can enlist in the U.S. military or be drafted and sent to fight in a war with a rifle and die. But you're not to be trusted with those rights in the state of Florida because of this clown until you're 21. No, that's not how any of this is supposed to work. But you can
carry one, though. But you can carry one. You can carry one, and you can hold one, and you can own one. You just can't buy one. You know what? Right. Slow clap. Dumbs.
He saved the entire state. It's amazing. Such great legislative prowess there. Yeah, I know. It's stupid.
So stupid.
These people. And I mean, again, these are the three choices we have. Now, I understand it's whoever throws their hat in the ring to run is going to get
But you know how this works. But you know how this works.
Right. I mean, come on. What about Rand Paul? Or somebody like that. I know he's not running, but there's so many other people out there in the Senate that would have a stronger voting record, have a stronger history of supporting our rights, not just the Second Amendment, folks. Look, red flag laws aren't just about the Second Amendment.
Not at all.
Red flag laws are about, they go down the list of amendments that it violates. You get no due process. A person can go into a Star Chamber court. You don't even know they're going in there. A jilted ex or a family member that has a beef over you voting for Trump. They go to the Star Chamber. He has guns and he's a danger to society and everybody around him. And guess what happens next? You lose all your rights. Now you're guilty until you prove yourself innocent and the state has your property.
Preach.
That's not how this works.
Nope. Unreasonable search and seizure. All sorts of great things.
You want that ass clown nowhere near the speakership. Nowhere near.
No. Red flag laws.
Not speaker. My bad. Leadership.
No.
Senate majority
House
leader.
Or Senate majority leader.
I don't want him as the speaker either, but he's in the Senate, so that won't.
No, right.
But anyway.
So the big thing that you have to understand, guys, and this is a incredibly important point. They all have their own little pet projects on what they think is going to solve every single problem. It's like their own little thing that they've discovered polls well in their district, and this is what they're going to go with. Like Rick Scott has done red flag laws, and he's done raising the buying age, which is like wet dreams of gun controllers. And then you got John Cornyn, who signed a ambiguous, huge omnibus BS law, which gave all these random agencies this ability to interpret however they wanted to. Now, keep in mind, it was also passed before Chevron deference got smoked, but the principle still remains. These guys are not freedom. What they're doing is they're just writing these laws incredibly ambiguously in order for the executive bureaucratic state to interpret them how they wish. They're letting the executive bureaucracies govern because they don't want the blowback politically. That's what was happening. And John Cornyn is an amazing example of that. Mm-hmm. Rick Scott, red flag laws and raising buying ages. No. And then we got John Thune, who is Mitch McConnell's left foot.
Yeah. Look, McConnell did some good things, right?
particularly around judges. I will give him his due. Judges, he did great
judges, work. He did good there. But the guy is not in his game anymore. He's not. He even helped us a few years back during the first Trump administration with some firearms legislative stuff. But as a whole, Mitch needed to go. He's just not a good leader.
He aged out.
No, beyond that, he's slipping, right? He's losing his conservative values, and he's inching towards leftist lunacy. And just like the leftist mind virus has got a foothold in Scott's brain, these other two are no better. So, but the sad thing is, I think Scott's leading this debate. I think he's the one that's getting the most favor.
Well, that's actually what's really interesting. I don't think that he is. That's where it gets really fascinating. Because remember, this is a secret ballot. This is on Wednesday. So all the senators are like huddling together, and they're like putting their fingers on the pulse, like, don't tell anybody. Like, all this information that we have is coming from GOP leaks. Like, none of the senators have said anything, really. This is all about super secret squirrel, star chamber kind of crap. So what you're seeing right now, according to the leaks of last night around 9 p.m. or 10 p.m., you got Thune in the lead, I believe, with 24. This is all straw polls. 24 for Thune, 18 for Cornyn, and 11. Yeah, there we go. And 11 for Scott. So this is where it gets interesting. Scott is actually in third place, but the online presence, the MAGA side, the conservative side that's online, very visible, clearly wants Scott.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because I think they're only chasing the yes man. I don't think they're looking at previous policy.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts, but I mean, we're going to cover a lot more of it. This is happening Wednesday morning.
Yeah. Well, I've been looking at the polls people are running on Twitter, and Twitter, I would say the majority of people on there are conservative, and they're voting, and it always seems like Scott is leading the votes.
Oh, and the people
in social media.
Massively. In the people, yes, but the actual senators, that's
we don't know what they're going to do. Yeah, we don't know what they're going to do. But what I'm saying is Scott has the support of conservatives in social media based on the polls I've seen. And it's just like, have you guys totally forgot what this man has done? I mean, he's literally crossed over the aisle, went into far left lunacy land, and struck deals with these clowns, and came back and imposed gross violations on our Second, Fourth, Fifth Amendment rights. I mean, whatever. I'm sick of seeing this guy. I just hate the fact that he's in national politics now.
Well, the math here, though, and this is where it gets truly interesting for you guys who, if you don't follow politics, which I assume that you at least have a cursory idea, following this show. It's so fascinating the way that these things work, right? So if you look on a time perspective, the House, and this is a creative feature of the entire organization, the House will turn on a dime very quickly because they have the full election every 2 years. Right. So every 2 years, you're getting an immediate representation of the electorate. Basically, every time we turn around, it's election season for the House members. Right. That's why you see all of the grandstanding that we cover on this channel when they're in their committees, when they don't actually do anything. They're just looking for clips, like that kind of thing. But the Senate doesn't go as fast because they're elected every 6 years. So because they're elected every 6 years, you get, like, if you go back to the image of those three guys, they're all really old vestiges of the 80s and 90s when they first got in early 2000s, to be fair. These guys aren't young guys. Like, they are not representative of the population, which is why you're still getting that kind of thing. They haven't been weeded out in the same process the House has. That's my theory. But anyway.
Yeah. No, they're just establishment rhinos. It's your typical mix, and that's unfortunate. But again, don't go blaming Trump for this one. He has no control over it. It's like I said.
No, but it's interesting what he's doing. Have you seen what he's doing?
No. Well, maybe. What are you thinking of?
So what he's doing, or at least what he's initially done so far, is he's come out and said, we need appointments through the recess when Congress is not in. We need the ability to have recess appointments, and basically, whoever gives me recess appointments gets my love. So all three of them are like, I think we need it. It's definitely time for having recess appointments for judges and appointment officials. Definitely, it's time. I mean, Trump's basically trying to speed up the process. He's trying to basically circumvent the whole process of, we're on recess, can't talk. We're on vacation again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're going to do this. I mean, they can drag out these appointments for years. I mean, he can make it through the entire presidency and not have a full cabinet or have, it's crazy how this plays out. Like, there should be some rule in place that if the votes haven't taken place by such and such time, then the appointments just go forward. We can't run a government when we have empty seats of high level cabinet positions and other appointments that are vacant. It just
It makes sense. I mean, it makes total logical sense what he's saying, but yeah, here we are.
Yep,
so Rick Scott, John Thune, or John Cornyn are the top contenders right now. Yay!
Yeah, fun. All right. Yeah,
but that's it. Yeah, that's
it.
That's the update.
We don't have. There's more links in there. We don't want to talk about them. I don't want to talk about
them. No. I think we firmly landed on screw John Cornyn. I feel pretty good about that.
And Scott, screw them both.
Oh, okay. Yeah, screw them both. All right.
Yep.
Equal screwing.
Yep, we got some equal screwing. Thank you for showing up for the Screw Fest. We appreciate you watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching.